listening can really change the way you see the projects you are working on. If you could revive one nameplate from Nissan's past, what would it be? The Silvia, no doubt. What has been your greatest achievement at Nissan? Probably the refreshing of the lineup that we did prior to the Nissan Next business plan. We refreshed the whole portfolio, and we had the opportunity to launch all those cars in a very short period of time. It helped the company recover and get back on its feet. What is your biggest regret or wish for a do-over? I could have pushed harder to accelerate the shortening of our development plan, our development process. We have announced that we are working on bringing cars faster, shortening from the 55-ish months that we have to 37 for the first runner and 30 months for the second. I wish I could have pushed that before. It took too long for the company to acknowledge that we had to evolve. What car are you most proud of working on? The current generation Z. I didn't have a chance to work on previous generations. And it was great for me. It was a nice way of closing the circle too when I was a teenager. What is the future of the GTR? We will continue working on sports cars. This is part of our DNA. I cannot tell you when and how, but of course, the GTR name will exist into the future. What are your pet peeves? Squeaks and rattles in a car. It drives me nuts. I'm testing a lot of cars, and sometimes when I'm driving around and they start to squeak or something, I really want to find the source of the noise. What do your critics say about you? Sometimes I can be too fast for the team or the company. I'm already on step B or C or D when they're still catching up on step A. But I've learned to look back and wait for people to catch up because when people are in tune together, they can really accelerate and move more quickly. What are you reading? The New CEO by Ty Wiggins. I heard about this, and I said there's some reading I have to do. What is your personal motto? Work hard with a smile. I try to keep things fun as much as I can. Mexicans, by nature, maybe we are optimists through hard times. Are there any good Mexican restaurants in Japan? Unfortunately, not in Yokohama. Title, Live Updates on Tariffs. Trump says he'll outline trade plan in coming days. Content. The Trump administration has imposed 25% tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico as of March 4, but gave the auto sector a 1-month exemption. Tariffs on imports from China are now at 20% after the administration imposed a 10% duty on goods from that country on top of the 10% import tax it implemented in February. On March 24, President Donald Trump said he will announce auto tariffs in the coming days, but said some countries will get breaks from reciprocal tariffs. Trump and members of his cabinet have said the tariffs are meant to hold Canada and Mexico more accountable for border security. The president also sees them as a way to encourage more manufacturing in the U.S. But those in the industry say moving manufacturing sites to the U.S. isn't easy and takes years. The industry, meanwhile, is working to adapt to a quickly changing landscape that had relied on free trade across North American borders. Keep up with this live blog for regular updates. President Donald Trump said he will announce tariffs on automobile imports in the coming days, and indicated nations will receive breaks from next week's reciprocal tariffs. Trump's comments at the White House on Monday sowed further confusion about his plans for a sweeping tariff announcement scheduled for April 2. Read the story. The Trump administration is unlikely to implement a tariff on automotive imports on April 2, according to media reports over the weekend. Such a move would be a welcome development for automakers and suppliers that have warned of new levies straining the supply chain. Read the story. Ford Motor Company produced nearly 400,000 F-Series Super Duty pickups at 2 factories in the United States in 2024. Conversely, every engine came from Canada or Mexico. That now has the makings of one costly problem for the automaker. Read the story.